Think about it. You ask most of these women, are they Christian? They'll say, oh yeah, I believe in Jesus. And you be like, well, tell me about the religion. I would like to know. And they're like, well, I don't know it like that. Well, then how are you a Christian if you don't know about the religion? I went to church when I was young. What does that mean? I went to ice hockey when I was young. I can't play ice hockey. If their criteria is, I know about it, so I believe in it, I was told to do it, same way they'll treat marriage. I know about marriage and I was told to get married, but all the tenets of marriage I don't follow. I don't follow none of the tenets of Christianity or Islam, so why am I going to follow the rules of marriage? If they have no moral base, they won't be moral women. And if they were already out there giving it up without a ring, what makes you think a ring becomes a chastity belt? If their mentality is not to be a good person, or they were throwing their body around before they got married, they're probably going to do that after you're married. Or it may seem like a good deal at first because she's happy that somebody chose her to be their wife. But she'll never actually be a wife. You'll just be a married man. You'll be married to a woman, but you won't have a wife. What you will have is a thought that you will be calling a wife. And the worst feeling in the world is for you to be out there praising this woman, saying that she's a good woman and she's great, and the people you praising her to are sleeping with her. So they looking at you like Boo Boo the fool. They like, this nigga don't know that this woman a thought. And we dragging this broad all through the street and he talking like she Mary Poppins. And ladies, when you think, oh, this nigga's a fool and all that, and I'm doing me, and yeah, it may seem like you on top at first, but believe me, once that man who really loves you leaves you, ain't none of them dudes that knew that you was breaking your commitment with him, that you were married and you was still slutting around, ain't none of them dudes gonna respect you. And you ain't never gonna get that position back that you had with the man you were married to. Because as soon as the next man finds out that you was cheating on your husband before, he's not gonna have any faith in you. All your relationships after that will be temporary. He'll get married again, have children, have long-lasting marriage because his name ain't sullied. But yours is. And if you watch on YouTube and on other channels, most of the guys who are cheating with these women end up recording them and putting them out there as sluts. And everybody can look at it, or somebody's going to, hey man, ain't this your broad? Look at this. And they going to show you cheating on your last husband. And now that he knows, that his friends know that you're a slut, they're not going to want to bed down with you. And believe me, it will get around. I don't care if you're with the man for 2 years, 3 years, because people like drama. And the more happy they see you are, the more they are looking for you to fall and fail. So you be like, hey man, this is my girl. There are cats that'll take a picture behind your back of your woman and then run it through the internet. There are people who will get online and go to Ben Verified and look her up. Man, you know this broad lived in 6, 7 different cities? You know, she had like 100 different numbers. And it looked like she had these numbers at the same time. Unless she a brain surgeon or a prostitute, why she need a whole bunch of numbers? They will expose her. Now you walking around with this woman that everybody knows is a slut. And believe me, once they know that, they gonna get at her. Because they want to show the world, and especially you don't have nothing. You got something that everybody can have. So now they ain't looking at you like you got a good life. No, you've been duped. And they have no problem exposing that you've been duped. Matter of fact, a lot of men take joy in it. You sitting there saying, man, she can cook, she's a beautiful woman, and she's just so faithful. They giggling up under their skin. Because they like, man, I just had her froggy style about 20, 30 minutes ago. And then you might get a video like I see on the internet where your homies videotaping, man, I told you this girl wasn't nothing, man. Look, she right there in the bed, just got through banging it. Who wants that? That type of heartbreak is very hard to rebound from. Sometimes it takes years. So when a woman doesn't have a moral base, she shouldn't be vetted to be your wife. You shouldn't take her serious. If she's professing to be any type of religion, and you don't see that religion in her, you shouldn't see a wife in her. If you're able to sleep with her the first time you meet her, you shouldn't see a wife in her. Because you didn't have sex with her so good that first time that she gave up every other penis in the world. It didn't happen. It didn't happen before you. Why it's going to happen now? And from what I hear when I look at these videos, these women say, if the sex is real good, who's next? Because if he's this good, there's probably somebody out there a lot better. That's the mentality these women today have. Hypergamy is real. They're looking for the best. Even though they don't understand, the best usually is temporary. That feeling of having someone who is top-notch in bed is temporary. Because you will get used to it. We used to go to the circus when we were young, or to the fair. But after you've been there so many times, the thrill of it is gone. You don't really have a desire to go back there. The only time you really desire to go back there is when you have kids and you want them to go experience it. But these type of women will never reach the kid phase, not with a man. They probably will have kids, and their baby daddies will be in their families taking their kids. But these women, these type of women, will be taking their kids by themselves or with their family, their immediate family that they grew up with. You can never trust someone who will get naked immediately, because that means that they have no skirts. They are never going to ever have any discretion with who they sleep with. And if they are drinkers and they become lush when they drink, I don't care if they drink with you when they become like this. You should really look at that, because if she drinks outside your presence and you know that she'll jump into bed with anybody, she's going to do that. So if she is that type of person and she drinks outside your presence and she's out there at the parties and clubs and stuff like that, she's cheating. Whether she wants to or not. It's in her makeup. She done already showed you she'll do this. So why do you think she won't? And if you're not looking at these subtle things, these ain't even subtle, these are major. If you're not paying attention, it will happen to you. You are not excluded. And you need to go back and listen to them old songs. Everybody plays the fool. Who's making love to your old lady while you were out making love? Pay attention. These things, nothing is new under the sun. Everything you going through, somebody else done been through. You ain't the only one. It's just if you're strong enough to make it through and do better. But a fool will always put all his eggs in one basket and haven't even examined the basket. There may be a hole in the basket, or the basket may not even be sturdy enough to hold all his eggs. That's a metaphor, just in case y'all don't understand what I'm saying. If you pour all your love into a prostitute, you're gonna get hurt. If this woman will drop her drawers for any man that she sees when she is high or drunk, you gonna get hurt. Her beauty does not dictate whether she is a faithful woman. And most of the time, if they are 6 or 7, they giving it away way faster than a beautiful woman. Because now they feel validated through sex. And you think you done got you a plain Jane that is going to be faithful, when really all you did was bring attention to a woman who wasn't getting attention. And that attention that she wasn't getting, she's reveling in. And she got these guys in her ear talking about, why you with that dude? You should be with me. You should be holding it down with me. And you feel like you all that. But behind your back, you being tore down every day. And women, y'all need to really pay attention to this. When you cheat and you feel like you got the upper hand, you are the one losing. Because the only diminishment he has is you. So when he releases you, he no longer has that diminishment. He no longer is degraded by people. But you are still the slut who cheated. You are still the one who was sneaking around behind a man's back that you were married to. You are still the one who men could pass around like a joint. You will never lose that. That never leaves you. The only degradation he had was you. So when he loses you, his stock goes back up. But when you lose him, your stock goes down, because now you don't have an attachment or a commitment. And the men who knew that you were like that, they spreading the word. Just like they was bringing men to, hey man, you can hit that if you want to. Just get her drunk, get her some weed, she gonna let you hit. Believe, they didn't pass the word on to other people. She's married, and that isn't it. And once that gets out there, you can't retract that. You can't bring that back. It's just like an episode that comes on TV. You may see it once, but you remember the episode. To choose a wife, you are choosing someone who is representing you. Someone who is going to either bring you up or tear you down. And yeah, she can tear you down and you can rebuild. But if you choose right the first time, you don't have to worry about rebuilding. You'll be at the top of the mountain. You're not going to come down. And even if you do fall, you know you got that right hand that's going to help you climb back up. But if you choose wrong, you may choose a woman who is envious of you. And so envious of you that when you start to climb, she's going to be adding weights to your back. She's going to be tearing you down emotionally. She's going to deprive you of her body physically. And any success you get, she is going to diminish. Because secretly, she's probably jealous that you get the attention you get. And if you have one of these women, she will see it as a knock on your character when she gives herself to other men. Because now she is taking down your personal self-esteem behind your back. When you used to say, I have this great woman, and she's showing the world that she ain't shit. It's gonna hurt. Because as soon as you find out she's doing all that, the first thing you're gonna look back on is all the good stuff you told everybody about her. how you used to praise her behind her back and she tearing you down like a mug, setting your whole image on fire behind yours. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna wish you never spoke to this woman, let alone spoke of her. And believe me, there are men out there that when you tell them how good your life is and how beautiful and good your wife is, they are angry with that. Why does he get a good one? And then they attracted to her because of that. Now they out to get her. And once they get her, they like, man, she a hoe like all the rest of them. Nigga, you ain't got nothing. But you don't know it because he getting freebies. He not finna stop that. He got a woman he ain't gotta do nothing for her but have sex with her and leave. He ain't gotta pay no bills. He ain't gotta drive her nowhere. He ain't gotta take her to the movies. He ain't gotta take her out to eat. All he gotta do is bring some drink and some weed probably, and he knocking her down. And the sessions is probably 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And if they happen to, you go out of town or something and they get to hang out for a long time, it's only going to be because his woman is gone or he got a free hour or something without his woman. Because he ain't never finna be looking at her as a marriage possibility. She is sex only. And once you leave her, he has no reason to deal with her anymore because he knows that she going to be relying on him for the relationship qualities, and he ain't there for that. When she say, well, could you help me with? He's gonna be like, nah, I can't do that. I gotta take care of my own stuff. There was a clip that Eddie Griffith, I think, did on a song where he said, why don't you tell the kids a real story that you was a keeper, brother baby, and your daddy's a good man because he take care of his real family. Yeah, he gonna take care of his. When you lose yours, he not finna fill in the space. What, he gonna become your man so that you can do him like you was doing your husband? Come on, what brain power does it take for a woman to understand that once you step out, your moral value goes down? You are never seen as a virtuous woman again. And then you get on the internet and tell the story, and I don't know how many women I've seen say, oh, I cheated on my man. Once people see that, if you get you a good man, let's say you changed your ways and you became a virtuous, religious woman, once a man looks on the internet and sees that you were telling people you were cheating on men, he can never look at you as virtuous again because now he knows that other men have seen this.